The woman stared at Vin for a long moment. She still held the sleeping baby carefully in her arms. Her eyes searched his face. Maybe she was looking for a joke. Or maybe she was wondering if this was real. Famous people did not usually compliment hotel maids. Vin took another small step into the room. He moved slowly, like approaching a nervous bird. He did not want her to feel uncomfortable. He kept his voice low and soft. "I'm sorry for bothering you," he said. "I was walking to my room. I heard you singing. I had to listen." The woman relaxed a little. Her shoulders dropped. She looked down at the baby again. The child slept peacefully. Tiny chest rising and falling. Small lips slightly open. "It's okay," she said quietly. "I didn't know anyone could hear me. These walls are supposed to be thick." "They are," Vin said. The door was open. "Just a little bit." The woman glanced at the door. She nodded. "Oh, yes, I left it open so I could hear if anyone called me. I'm still on duty." Vin looked at his watch. It was 12:30 in the morning. He looked back at her. "You're working this late?" "My shift ends at 1, she said. "Usually I'm cleaning rooms or restocking supplies. But tonight," she looked down at the baby. Tonight was different. Vin pulled over a small chair from near the desk. He sat down. Not too close, just close enough to talk without raising his voice. He wanted to know more. Something about this woman and this situation touched him deeply. "What happened?" he asked. "Whose baby is this?" The woman shifted the baby slightly in her arms. She seemed to be checking if it was okay to talk. The baby stayed asleep. She began to speak. "A young couple checked in this afternoon," she said. "Room 1239, this is their room. They have this baby boy. His name is Marcus. They seemed happy, normal. Then around 11 I was in the hallway. I heard the baby crying. Really crying. Screaming." She paused, remembering. "I knocked on the door." The mother answered. She was crying too. She said her sister was in a car accident. Not here, back in Florida. It was serious. She and her husband needed to go to the hospital right away. They needed to catch the next flight out. Vin listened carefully. He leaned forward slightly. "The mother was panicking," the woman continued. "She said they had no one to watch the baby. No family here. No friends. They just moved to Los Angeles last week. She didn't know what to do. She was thinking about taking the baby to the hospital with them. But that would take hours. The baby was already upset and tired. So you offered to help," Vin said. It was not a question. He already knew. The woman nodded. "I told her I would watch him. Just until they got back or until they could make other plans. I have 3 kids of my own. I know babies." She was so relieved. She cried and hugged me. "They left 20 minutes ago." Vin sat back in his chair. He shook his head slowly. Not in disbelief. In admiration? "That's incredibly kind of you. Not many people would do that." The woman shrugged. It felt like the right thing to do. That poor mother was so scared. And this little one, she looked down at Marcus. He just needed someone to hold him. To tell him everything would be okay. "With your voice, I bet he believed it," Vin said with a smile. The woman smiled back, a real smile this time. It changed her whole face, made her look younger. "My grandmother taught me that song when I was little. She said singing was the best medicine for a troubled heart. Adult or baby, didn't matter. She was right," Vin said. "I felt it too, standing out there in the hallway. Your voice." He paused, searching for the right words. "It reminded me of my mother. She used to sing to me when I was scared." The woman's eyes softened. "That's a beautiful memory." "It is," Vin agreed. "I hadn't thought about it in a long time. Not until tonight." They sat in comfortable silence for a moment. The only sound was the baby's soft breathing. Outside the window, the city continued its endless movement. Cars on distant streets, lights in far buildings. But inside this room, time felt slow and peaceful. Vin realized he did not even know her name. "I'm Vin," he said, then laughed at himself. "But you probably already know that." The woman smiled. "Everyone knows who you are, Mr. Diesel. I'm Jiwon. Jiwon Park." "Jiwon," Vin repeated. "That's a beautiful name." "Korean?" "Yes," she said. "My parents were Korean. They adopted me when I was 3. From an adoption agency in Georgia. They gave me a Korean name. They wanted me to have that connection. Even though I'm black. They said family isn't about matching skin colors. It's about matching hearts. Vin felt his throat tighten again. That's beautiful. Your parents sound like amazing people. They were, Ji-won said quietly. They passed away 5 years ago. Car accident. Both of them. Same night. I'm so sorry, Vin said. He meant it deeply. Ji-won nodded. Thank you. It was hard. It still is. But they taught me well. They taught me to be strong. To help others. To find joy even in difficult times. You honor them, Vin said. I can tell. Ji-won looked at him with surprise. Like she was not used to such compliments. Especially from strangers. Especially from famous strangers. Can I ask you something? Vin said. That song you were singing. What was it? It's called Hush Little Baby, Ji-won said. But I changed some of the words. Made them my own. Added some gospel lyrics my grandmother taught me. It's kind of a mix. It was perfect, Vin said. Have you always loved to sing? Ji-won's face changed. Something flickered in her eyes. Sadness mixed with old dreams. Yes, always since I was a little girl. I wanted to be a music teacher. I went to community college. Got my degree in music education. That's wonderful, Vin said. So you teach? Ji-won shook her head slowly. No, I never got to. Life had other plans. Vin waited. He sensed there was more to the story. Ji-won looked down at the baby. She seemed to be deciding whether to continue. Whether to share her story with this man she just met. Finally, she spoke. Her voice was soft, careful. I got married right after college. To my high school sweetheart, David. We had big plans. I would teach music. He would be a mechanic. We would have kids. Buy a house. The American dream, you know. She smiled, but it did not reach her eyes. We had our first baby 2 years after we got married. A girl, Minji. Then 2 years later, a boy, Jae-sun. Then another boy 3 years after that. Daewon. 3 beautiful kids. Life was busy but good. David worked hard. I stayed home with the kids. We were planning for me to start teaching when the youngest started school. She paused. Vin saw her jaw tighten. Then David got sick. Cancer. Stomach cancer. It came fast and mean. The treatment was expensive. So expensive. Our insurance covered some, but not enough. Not nearly enough. The bills piled up. We used our savings. Then we borrowed money. Then we borrowed more. Vin felt his chest ache. He knew where this story was going. David fought for 2 years, Ji-won continued. He was so brave. But the cancer won. He died 4 years ago. Left me with 3 kids, a mountain of debt, and a job at this hotel that I took to help with bills while he was sick. Ji-won, Vin said softly. I'm so sorry, she wiped her eye quickly. It's okay. We survive. We keep going. My kids are everything to me. Minji is 14 now. Jae-sun is 11. Daewon is 8. They're good kids, smart, kind, they help me a lot. And you work here, Vin said. As a maid, Ji-won nodded. For 12 years now. I started part-time when David got sick. Then full-time after he died. The pay isn't great, but it's steady. And the people here are mostly nice. It pays our rent. Keeps food on the table. Keeps my kids in school. What about teaching? Vin asked. Do you still want to? Ji-won looked out the window. Sometimes I dream about it. But dreams don't pay bills. I'm 42 years old. I have a degree from 15 years ago. Schools want younger teachers. Teachers with recent experience. Teachers who can work for less money because they don't have 3 kids depending on them. That's not fair, Vin said. No, Ji-won agreed. It's not. But it's life. I made peace with it. I still sing. At church on Sundays. To my kids at night. That's enough. But Vin could see it was not enough. Not really. He could hear it in her voice. The longing. The buried dreams. This woman had a gift. A real gift. And the world was missing it because life had been cruel. The baby stirred. Made a small sound. Ji-won immediately started rocking again. She hummed softly. The baby settled back into deep sleep. Vin watched her. He saw her worn shoes. The tired lines around her eyes. The rough hands that came from years of hard work. But he also saw her gentle touch, her caring heart, her unbroken spirit. And in that moment, sitting in that hotel room at nearly 1 a.m, Vin Diesel made a decision. He did not know exactly what he would do yet, but he knew he would do something. This woman deserved more. Her voice deserved to be heard. Her story deserved to be told. Sometimes you meet someone and you just know, they're special. You know they matter. You know you're supposed to help. This was one of those times. They sat together in comfortable silence for several minutes. Ji-won rocked the baby gently. Vin watched the city lights through the window. Both of them were lost in their own thoughts. The hotel hallway outside remained quiet and empty. Then they heard voices. Footsteps coming down the hall. Fast footsteps, almost running. Ji-won looked up at Vin with knowing eyes. The parents were back. A young woman appeared in the doorway. She was maybe 25. Blonde hair pulled into a messy ponytail. Her face was red and wet from crying. Her husband stood behind her, tall and thin with worry in his eyes. "Oh, thank God," the woman said when she saw Ji-won holding the baby. She rushed into the room. "Thank you so much. I was so worried. We got to the airport and I almost turned back. I felt terrible leaving him with a stranger." "No offense, none taken," Ji-won said softly. She stood up slowly and carefully transferred the sleeping baby to his mother's arms. He did great. Cried for about 10 minutes, but then he calmed down. He's been asleep for the last hour. The mother held her baby close. She kissed his forehead. Tears ran down her cheeks. "You're an angel, really. I don't know how to thank you." The husband reached into his wallet. He pulled out some cash, maybe $40. He held it out to Ji-won. "Please take this. For your trouble." Ji-won shook her head. "No, please, I don't want money." "I was happy to help. How is your sister?" The mother's face crumpled again. "She's stable. That's all they'll tell us over the phone. We got tickets for the 6 a.m. flight. We're going to try to sleep for a few hours, then head to the airport. My mother-in-law is flying in. She'll meet us in Florida. She'll watch Marcus while we're at the hospital." "I'll pray for your sister," Ji-won said. "And for your family." "Thank you," the mother whispered. She looked at Ji-won like she wanted to say more. Like she wanted to explain what this kindness meant. But the words would not come. Instead, she just said it again. "Thank you." The young couple disappeared into their room with their baby. The door closed softly behind them. Ji-won stood in the hallway. She smoothed down her uniform, checked her watch. 12:55. 5 more minutes until her shift ended. Vin stood beside her. They walked slowly down the hall together. Neither spoke at first. Then Vin broke the silence. "You didn't take the money," he observed. Ji-won shrugged. "I didn't do it for money." That young mother was terrified. "I just wanted to help. Even though $40 could probably help you too," Vin said gently. Ji-won stopped walking. She looked at him. "Mr. Diesel, I may not have much, but I have my dignity. I have my values. My parents taught me that. My grandmother taught me that. My husband lived that way. I won't change who I am just because life is hard." Vin felt a wave of respect wash over him. This woman. This incredible woman. "Please," he said. "Call me Vin, just Vin." Ji-won smiled. "Okay, just Vin." They reached the elevator. Ji-won pushed the button to go down. The lobby and staff rooms were on the ground floor. Vin's room was up on this floor. This was where they would part ways. Go back to their separate lives. Their separate worlds. But Vin was not ready to let this moment end. "Not yet, Ji-won," he said. "Can I ask you something else?" "Sure," she said. The elevator dinged. The doors opened. But neither of them moved. "Do you still sing? Besides at church and with your kids, I mean?" Ji-won thought about it. "Sometimes. When I'm cleaning rooms and no one is around. Or in my car on the way home. But nothing formal. Nothing public. Why not?" Vin asked. "Your voice is incredible. Really incredible. Have you ever thought about recording? Or performing?" Ji-won laughed. But it was not a happy laugh. It was the laugh of someone who had given up on certain dreams. "Vin, I'm a 42-year-old hotel maid. Nobody wants to hear me sing. The world doesn't work that way. Singers are young, beautiful, connected. They have money for studios and promotions. I have 3 kids and 2 jobs." "2 jobs?" Vin asked. "I clean houses on my days off," Ji-won explained. "For extra money. Minji needs braces. Jason needs new shoes. Kids are expensive." Vin felt something burn in his chest. Anger at the unfairness of life, but also determination. He looked directly at Ji-won. "What if I told you that age doesn't matter? That your story is exactly what people want to hear? That your voice could touch millions of people?" Ji-won looked at him carefully. "I would say you're being very kind, but you're also a movie star who lives in a different world than me. In my world, dreams are nice, but they don't pay rent. The elevator doors started to close. Ji-won put her hand out and stopped them. She stepped inside. Vin followed her without thinking. The doors closed. The elevator started moving down. "What if I could help you?" Vin said suddenly. Ji-won looked at him. Confusion on her face. "Help me? How?" "I have resources," Vin said. "I have connections. I have a platform. Millions of people follow me on social media. What if we recorded you singing? Just one song. And I posted it. Let people hear what I heard tonight." Ji-won's eyes went wide. "You're joking. I'm completely serious. Why would you do that? You don't even know me." "I know enough," Vin said. "I know you have an amazing gift. I know you have a beautiful heart. I know the world needs to hear your voice. And your story." The elevator reached the ground floor. The doors opened. They walked out into the empty lobby. The night desk clerk looked up from his computer. He did a double take when he saw Vin Diesel, but he did not approach. Just watched curiously. Ji-won led Vin to a small hallway off the lobby. Away from the clerk's view, she turned to face him. Her expression was serious now, almost stern. "Vin, this is very sweet, but you need to understand something. I'm not some charity case. I don't need pity. I work hard. I take care of my family. We're doing okay." "I don't pity you," Vin said firmly. "I admire you. There's a difference. What I'm offering isn't charity. It's opportunity. You have talent that deserves to be shared. That's not about pity. That's about justice." Ji-won crossed her arms. "And what happens if you post this video and nobody cares? What happens if people laugh at the poor hotel maid trying to be a singer? What happens if my kids see people making fun of their mother online?" Vin understood her fear. It was real and valid. "I can't promise everyone will react perfectly. The internet can be cruel. But I believe most people are good. And I believe your voice and your story will touch hearts. Not because you're poor, but because you're real. You're authentic. And authenticity is rare." Ji-won bit her lip. She looked down at her worn shoes. Vin could see her mind working, weighing risks and possibilities. Hope against fear. "I don't know," she said finally. "This all feels crazy. You're famous. I'm nobody." "Why does my voice matter?" "Because every voice matters," Vin said. "But especially voices like yours. Voices that have lived through pain and still choose to sing. Voices that comfort babies at midnight. Voices that raise 3 kids alone. Those are the voices that change the world." Ji-won looked up at him. Her eyes were wet. "You really believe that?" "I do," Vin said. "I absolutely do." She was quiet for a long moment. Then she asked, "What would I have to do?" Vin's heart jumped. She was considering it. "Just sing one song, whatever song means the most to you. I'll record it on my phone. Nothing fancy, just you and your voice. Then I'll post it with a little explanation of how we met. That's all." "When?" Ji-won asked. "Whenever you want, tomorrow, next week. You decide." Ji-won checked her watch. "My shift is over. I need to clock out and go home. My neighbor is watching my kids. She has to work early tomorrow." "Of course," Vin said. "Go, be with your family. Think about it. If you decide yes, we can meet here tomorrow, or whenever works for you." Ji-won nodded slowly. She started to walk away. Then she stopped and turned back. "Can I ask you something now?" "Anything," Vin said. "Why do you care? Really, you could walk away right now. Forget you ever heard me sing. Go back to your movie star life. Why does this matter to you?" Vin thought about his answer carefully. He wanted to be honest. Completely honest. "Because when I heard you singing to that baby, something woke up inside me. Something I thought I lost. A belief that there's still real goodness in the world. That there are still people who help others for no reason except it's right. You reminded me why I wanted to be an actor in the first place. Not for fame. Not for money. But to touch people. To tell stories that matter. Your story matters, Ji-won. And if I can help tell it, then maybe my fame is worth something more than just movie posters and red carpets." Ji-won's eyes filled with tears. She quickly wiped them away. "Okay," she said softly. "Okay?" Vin repeated. "Okay, I'll do it. But not tomorrow. I need time to think about what song. And I need to talk to my kids. They should know before anything goes online." "Take all the time you need," Vin said. "Here." He pulled out his phone. "Give me your number. We'll figure out a time that works for you." Ji-won gave him her number. Vin saved it in his phone. Ji-won Park, hotel maid. Hidden talent. "Future friend, I should go," Ji-won said. It's late, and my kids will be up in 6 hours for school. Go, Vin said. And Jiwon? Thank you for trusting me. Thank you, Jiwon said. For seeing me. She walked away toward the staff area. Vin watched her go. This small woman in a gray uniform who carried the weight of the world on her shoulders, who sang like an angel, who loved with her whole heart. 3 days passed. Vin checked his phone constantly. He wondered if Jiwon would change her mind. Maybe she thought about it and decided it was too risky. Maybe she talked to her kids and they were worried. Maybe she realized this was all crazy. But on the 4th day, his phone buzzed. A text message from an unknown number. This is Jiwon. From the hotel. Is your offer still open? Vin smiled. He typed back immediately. Absolutely. When are you free? Her reply came a minute later. I have lunch break tomorrow. 30 minutes. From noon to 12:30. Is that too short? Vin thought about it. 30 minutes was not much time, but it might be enough. Just one song. Simple and pure, that's perfect. Meet me in the hotel lobby at noon. I'll have everything ready. Okay, I'm nervous. That's normal. You're going to be amazing. Jiwon sent back a simple emoji, a nervous face. Vin laughed. Even in text messages, her honesty shined through. The next day, Vin arrived at the hotel at 11:30. He brought his professional video camera, a small one, easy to set up. He also brought a portable microphone. Nothing too fancy. He wanted the recording to feel natural, real, not like a professional studio production. He asked the hotel manager for a favor. Could he use a small conference room for an hour? The manager recognized Vin. Of course he said yes. Whatever Mr. Diesel needed. Vin did not explain what he was doing. He just said it was a personal project. The conference room was perfect. Small but nice. Big window with natural light. A simple table and chairs. Vin set up the camera on a tripod. He positioned it to capture Jiwon from a flattering angle. He tested the microphone. The sound was clear and warm. At exactly noon, there was a soft knock on the door. Come in, Vin called. Jiwon opened the door slowly. She peeked her head inside. She still wore her hotel uniform. Her hair was pulled back neatly. She looked terrified. Hi, she said quietly. Hi, Vin said with a warm smile. Come in, don't be scared. Jiwon stepped inside and closed the door behind her. She looked around the room, saw the camera, saw the microphone. Her eyes got wider. That's a lot of equipment, she said. Not really, Vin assured her. Just a camera and a mic. I want to capture your voice properly. The phone would work, but this will be better quality. Jiwon walked closer. She stared at the camera like it was a dangerous animal. I've never been recorded before. Not like this. There's a first time for everything, Vin said. Have a seat. Let's just talk for a minute before we start. Jiwon sat down in the chair across from the camera. She folded her hands in her lap. Her leg bounced nervously. Vin pulled a chair next to her. He sat down at her level. Not behind the camera. He wanted her to feel comfortable, to feel like they were just two friends talking. Did you tell your kids? Vin asked. Jiwon nodded. I did last night after dinner. They thought I was joking at first. When they realized I was serious, Minji got really excited. She said I should have done this years ago. Jason was worried. He asked what would happen if people were mean. Taewon just asked if we'd be rich, Vin laughed. What did you tell them? I told them I'm doing this because someone believes in me. And sometimes you have to be brave even when you're scared. I told them we probably won't get rich, but maybe we can inspire someone else who has a dream they're afraid to chase. That's beautiful, Vin said. Your kids are lucky to have you. I'm lucky to have them, Jiwon said. They're my reason for everything. They sat quietly for a moment. Vin could see Jiwon was still nervous. Her hands trembled slightly. She kept glancing at the camera. Jiwon, Vin said gently, you don't have to do this. If you changed your mind, that's completely okay. No pressure. No judgment, Jiwon looked at him. Really looked at him. Do you know what it's like to give up on yourself? Vin was surprised by the question. But he thought about it. I think everyone gives up on themselves a little bit. When life gets hard, when doors keep closing, when you hear no too many times? Exactly, Jiwon said. I gave up on myself 4 years ago. When David died, when the debt collectors kept calling, when I realized I would be cleaning hotel rooms for the rest of my life, I decided that was okay. That dreams were for other people. People with time and money and luck. Her voice grew stronger. More sure. But then you heard me sing. And you saw something in me that I stopped seeing in myself. And my kids were so excited when I told them. Minji said, Mama, you always tell us we can be anything. Now you have to believe it too. She's 14 years old and she's wiser than me. Jiwon stood up. She walked to the window, looked out at the city. I'm terrified. I'm terrified people will laugh. I'm terrified I'll embarrass my kids. I'm terrified this will change nothing and I'll still be exactly where I am. But I'm more terrified of teaching my kids that it's okay to give up, that it's okay to let fear win. She turned back to face Vin. Her eyes were wet but fierce. So yes, I want to do this. I need to do this. Not for fame, not for money, but to prove to myself and my kids that dreams still matter, even when you're 42, even when life knocked you down, even when you're just a hotel maid. Vin felt his throat tighten. He stood up and walked over to her. You're not just anything, Jiwon. You're a mother, a survivor, an artist, a woman with a voice that stopped me in my tracks. Don't diminish that. Jiwon smiled through her tears. Okay, let's do this before I lose my nerve. They walked back to the camera setup. Vin explained how it would work. He would start recording. He would introduce her briefly, explain how they met. Then she would sing one song. Whatever song she chose. What song did you pick? Vin asked. His Eye is on the Sparrow, Jiwon said. It's an old gospel hymn. My grandmother used to sing it. Then I sang it at David's funeral. It's about faith. About knowing that even when life is hard, you're not alone, that you're seen and loved. It's perfect, Vin said. Are you ready? Jiwon took a deep breath. As ready as I'll ever be. Vin pressed record on the camera. He stood next to it so Jiwon would have something to focus on besides the lens. He spoke directly to the camera. Hey everyone, I want to share something special with you. A few nights ago I was staying at a hotel. Late at night I heard the most beautiful singing coming from one of the rooms. I followed the sound and found this incredible woman singing to a baby. The baby wasn't even hers. She was helping a stranger. But it was the way she sang that moved me. So much love. So much soul. Vin gestured to Jiwon. This is Jiwon Park. She works as a hotel maid. She has 3 kids. She's a widow. She has a degree in music education but never got to teach. Life had other plans. But she never stopped singing. And I think the world needs to hear her voice. So I asked if she would sing for us. And she said yes. This is His Eye is on the Sparrow. This is Jiwon. Vin stepped aside. Jiwon sat in the chair. She looked at the camera. Then she looked at Vin. He nodded encouragingly. She closed her eyes and she began to sing. Why should I feel discouraged? Why should the shadows come? Her voice started soft, gentle, but there was power underneath it, like a river that looked calm on the surface but ran deep. Why should my heart be lonely and long for heaven and home? The power started to rise. Her voice grew stronger, more confident. She opened her eyes, but she was not looking at the camera anymore. She was somewhere else, somewhere deep inside herself. When Jesus is my portion, my constant friend is He. Now the full power of her voice came through, rich and strong. Every word filled with emotion, with faith, with pain turned into beauty. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. Vin felt tears running down his face. He did not try to hide them. He had heard talented singers before, professional singers, famous singers. But this was different. This was real. This was a woman singing from her soul. Every word meant something. Every note carried weight. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. Jiwon's voice soared. The small conference room could barely contain it. The sound filled every corner, seemed to vibrate in the walls. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. She held the final note. Let it ring out clear and strong. Then slowly she let it fade. The room fell silent. Jiwon opened her eyes. She looked at Vin. He was crying openly now. He did not care. Vin could barely speak. That was incredible. That was perfect, Jiwon smiled. Relief flooded her face. Really, it was okay? Okay, Vin said. Jiwon, that was one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard. And I've heard a lot of music, Jiwon laughed. A real laugh, full of joy and release. I can't believe I just did that. You did. And the world is about to hear it. Vin stopped the recording. He played it back for Jiwon. She watched herself on the small camera screen. She winced at first. People always hate seeing themselves on camera, but as the song played, her expression changed. She heard what Vin heard. She saw what he saw. Is that really me? She whispered. That's really you, Vin confirmed. Jiwon checked her watch. 12:25. I have to get back to work in 5 minutes. Go, Vin said. I'll edit this tonight. Just light touch-ups. Then I'll send you the video before I post it. You can tell me if there's anything you want changed. Jiwon stood up. She smoothed her uniform. Vin, whatever happens with this, thank you. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for giving me this moment. I'll never forget it. This is just the beginning, Vin said. I can feel it. That night, Vin sat in his home office. He watched the recording over and over. Each time it gave him chills. Each time tears came to his eyes. This was special. He knew it in his bones. He did minimal editing. Just cleaned up the sound slightly. Made sure the lighting was good. Added simple captions so people could follow along even with the sound off. He wanted to keep it raw and real. That was the power of it. At 10 p.m. he composed his social media post. He wrote and rewrote it several times. He wanted to get it exactly right. Finally, he settled on this. Sometimes life gives you unexpected moments that change everything. A few nights ago, I heard the most beautiful voice coming from a hotel room. I followed the sound and met Jiwon Park. She's a hotel maid. A widow raising 3 kids alone. She has a degree in music education but never got to teach. Life had other plans. But she never stopped singing. This is her singing His Eye is on the Sparrow. Listen to her voice. Hear her story. This is what real talent looks like. This is what real strength sounds like. Share this if it moves you. Jiwon deserves to be heard. He attached the video. His finger hovered over the post button. This would change Jiwon's life. He hoped it would change it for the better. He said a small prayer. Then he pressed post on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on TikTok. Everywhere he had a presence. Millions of followers would see it within minutes. Then he texted Jiwon. It's posted. Whatever happens next, I'm here with you. She texted back immediately. She must have been waiting. I'm shaking. My kids are gathered around me. We're going to watch it together. You're going to be amazing. The world is about to meet you. Vin set down his phone. He refreshed his social media. The video already had 500 views. Then 1,000. Then 5,000. The numbers climbed fast. Faster than he expected. The comments started rolling in. Her voice is incredible. I'm crying. This is so beautiful. We need more stories like this. Where can I buy her music? That voice. That voice. Give this woman a record deal. Within an hour, the video had 100,000 views. Within 2 hours, 500,000. The shares multiplied. People were tagging their friends, their family, music producers, record labels, news outlets. By midnight, the video had 2 million views. Vin's phone rang. It was his publicist. What did you just post? She asked. Not angry, just surprised. A woman singing, Vin said.
Why? Because it's blowing up.
Every entertainment news site is calling me. They want to know who she is. They want interviews. Vin, this is huge. Good, Vin said. She deserves it. Who is she? Really? Not exactly who I said. A hotel maid with an incredible voice. His publicist was quiet for a moment. Then she said, This is either going to be the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, or it's going to get complicated fast. It's going to be beautiful, Vin said firmly. I'll make sure of it. He stayed up all night watching the numbers climb, reading the comments. Most were positive. Overwhelmingly positive. But there were some negative ones too. There always were. Probably staged. He's just trying to get good publicity. She's okay, but not that special. Vin tried not to let those comments bother him. You could not please everyone. But the vast majority of people were moved, touched, inspired. By morning, the video had 10 million views. Vin's phone buzzed. A text from Jiwon. I can't believe this. My phone won't stop buzzing. People from high school are calling me. My pastor called. My kids' teachers called. The hotel manager called. Everyone is calling. How do you feel? Vin texted back. Scared, excited, overwhelmed, like I'm dreaming and might wake up any second. It's real. You're real. And people see what I saw. A beautiful voice and a beautiful soul. Thank you doesn't feel like enough. You don't need to thank me. Just enjoy this moment. But enjoying it was hard. The attention was intense. By noon, news vans were parked outside the hotel. Reporters wanted to interview Jiwon. The hotel manager did not know what to do. This had never happened before. Jiwon called Vin. She sounded panicked. "There are cameras everywhere," she said. "I'm hiding in the supply closet. I'm supposed to be working, but I can't. Everyone keeps stopping me, asking questions, taking photos. I don't know what to do." "Stay calm," Vin said. "I'm coming there. Don't talk to anyone until I get there. Okay?" "Okay," Jiwon said. Her voice was small and scared. Vin drove to the hotel. He pushed through the reporters. "No comment right now," he said firmly. "Give us some space, please." He found Jiwon in the employee break room. She sat at a table with her head in her hands. Her coworkers surrounded her. Some looked excited. Others looked confused. "A few looked jealous, Jiwon," Vin said gently. She looked up. Relief washed over her face when she saw him. "You came." "Of course I came. Come on. Let's get you somewhere quiet." They went to the same conference room where they recorded the video. Vin closed the door. The noise from outside faded. Jiwon collapsed into a chair. "This is crazy," she said. "Is it always like this? Being famous?" "Sometimes," Vin said. "But this is different. This is new attention. It will calm down. But right now we need to make some decisions." "What kind of decisions?" "People want to talk to you. News shows, radio stations, podcasts. We need to decide if you want to do interviews, and if so, which ones. We also need to think about your job. The hotel might not like all this attention." As if on cue, there was a knock on the door. The hotel manager poked his head in. He was a middle-aged man with thin hair and a nervous expression. "Mr. Diesel, Ms. Park, can I speak with you both?" "Come in," Vin said. The manager stepped inside and closed the door. He looked uncomfortable. "Ms. Park, I need to talk to you about your employment." Jiwon's face fell. "Are you firing me?" No, the manager said quickly. "Nothing like that. But we need to discuss the situation. The reporters outside are disrupting our guests. We can't have news vans blocking the entrance. It's not good for business, I understand," Jiwon said quietly. "I'll resign. I don't want to cause problems." "Wait," Vin said. He looked at the manager. "What if she took a leave of absence? Paid leave, for 2 weeks. That gives the media attention time to die down. Then she can come back to work if she wants to, or she can pursue other opportunities if they come up." The manager thought about it. "That could work. Would that be acceptable to you, Ms. Park?" Jiwon looked at Vin, then at the manager. "Yes, thank you." "That's very generous." "It's settled then," the manager said. He looked relieved. "Take 2 weeks off, paid. We'll see where things stand after that." After the manager left, Jiwon turned to Vin. "What am I supposed to do for 2 weeks?" "You're supposed to see what opportunities come from this. And spend time with your kids. They must be excited." Jiwon smiled for the first time that day. "They are. Minji made me read every comment last night. Jae-sun is telling everyone at school that his mom is famous. Daewon asked if we can get a dog now." Vin laughed. "Maybe not a dog yet. But maybe other things. Let's see what happens over the next few days." What happened over the next few days was overwhelming. The video reached 30 million views, then 50 million. News outlets around the world picked up the story. Hotel Maid goes viral. Vin Diesel discovers hidden talent. The voice that stopped the internet. Interview requests poured in. Good Morning America. The Today Show. Ellen. Everyone wanted Jiwon. Record labels started calling. Producers wanted to work with her. People offered to manage her career. Jiwon met with Vin every day. They sat together and went through the offers. It was too much for her to handle alone. She needed someone she trusted, and she trusted Vin. "I don't understand any of this," she said, looking at a contract from a small record label. "What does perpetuity mean? What's a mechanical license? I feel stupid." "You're not stupid," Vin said firmly. "This is complicated on purpose. That's why we're getting you a lawyer, a good entertainment lawyer who will explain everything and make sure you don't get taken advantage of." "I can't afford a lawyer. I already hired one. Don't worry about the cost. Consider it my investment in you." Jiwon looked at him with tears in her eyes. "Why are you doing all this, really?" "I still don't understand." Vin thought about it. He wanted to be honest. Completely honest. Because life gave me opportunities that other people don't get. Because I was lucky. And because I believe that when you have the power to help someone, you should. Your voice deserves to be heard. Your story deserves to be told. And I have the platform to make that happen. It's not charity. It's just what's right. 3 days after the video posted, Jiwon was invited to appear on Good Morning America. She was terrified. She had never been on television before. She did not know what to wear, what to say, how to act. Vin helped her prepare. He brought a stylist to help her pick an outfit, something that felt like her but looked good on camera. They settled on a simple blue dress. Nothing too fancy, just elegant and real. They practiced interview questions. Vin played the interviewer. Tell us about your life. When did you know you could sing? What does this attention mean to you? Jiwon stumbled at first. She was nervous. She over-explained things. But slowly she found her voice. Not her singing voice. Her speaking voice. The one that told her story with honesty and grace. That night, Vin sat in his home office. He watched the recording over and over. Each time it gave him chills. Each time tears came to his eyes. This was special. He knew it in his bones. He did minimal editing. Just cleaned up the sound slightly. Made sure the lighting was good. Added simple captions so people could follow along even with the sound off. He wanted to keep it raw and real. That was the power of it. At 10 p.m. he composed his social media post. He wrote and rewrote it several times. He wanted to get it exactly right. Finally, he settled on this. Sometimes life gives you unexpected moments that change everything. A few nights ago, I heard the most beautiful voice coming from a hotel room. I followed the sound and met Jiwon Park. She's a hotel maid. A widow raising 3 kids alone. She has a degree in music education but never got to teach. Life had other plans, but she never stopped singing. This is her singing His Eye is on the Sparrow. Listen to her voice. Hear her story. This is what real talent looks like. This is what real strength sounds like. Share this if it moves you. Jiwon deserves to be heard. He attached the video. His finger hovered over the post button. This would change Jiwon's life. He hoped it would change it for the better. He said a small prayer. Then he pressed post on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on TikTok. Everywhere he had a presence. Millions of followers would see it within minutes. Then he texted Jiwon. It's posted. Whatever happens next, I'm here with you. She texted back immediately. She must have been waiting. I'm shaking. My kids are gathered around me. We're going to watch it together. You're going to be amazing. The world is about to meet you. Vin set down his phone. He refreshed his social media. The video already had 500 views, then 1,000, then 5,000. The numbers climbed fast. Faster than he expected, the comments started rolling in. Her voice is incredible. I'm crying. This is so beautiful. We need more stories like this. Where can I buy her music? That voice. That voice. Give this woman a record deal. Within an hour, the video had 100,000 views. Within 2 hours, 500,000. The shares multiplied. People were tagging their friends, their family, music producers, record labels, news outlets. By midnight, the video had 2 million views. Vin's phone rang. It was his publicist. What did you just post? She asked. Not angry, just surprised. A woman singing, Vin said. Why? Because it's blowing up. Every entertainment news site is calling me. They want to know who she is. They want interviews. Vin, this is huge. Good, Vin said. She deserves it. Who is she? Really? Exactly who I said. A hotel maid with an incredible voice. His publicist was quiet for a moment. Then she said, This is either going to be the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, or it's going to get complicated fast. It's going to be beautiful, Vin said firmly. I'll make sure of it. He stayed up all night watching the numbers climb, reading the comments. Most were positive, overwhelmingly positive, but there were some negative ones too. There always were, probably staged. He's just trying to get good publicity. She's okay, but not that special. Vin tried not to let those comments bother him. You could not please everyone. But the vast majority of people were moved, touched, inspired. By morning, the video had 10 million views. Vin's phone buzzed. A text from Jiwon. I can't believe this. My phone won't stop buzzing. People from high school are calling me. My pastor called. My kids' teachers called. The hotel manager called. Everyone is calling. How do you feel? Vin texted back, scared, excited, overwhelmed, like I'm dreaming and might wake up any second. It's real. You're real. And people see what I saw. A beautiful voice and a beautiful soul. Thank you doesn't feel like enough. You don't need to thank me. Just enjoy this moment. But enjoying it was hard. The attention was intense. By noon, news vans were parked outside the hotel. Reporters wanted to interview Ji-won. The hotel manager did not know what to do. This had never happened before. Ji-won called Vin. She sounded panicked. There are cameras everywhere, she said. I'm hiding in the supply closet. I'm supposed to be working, but I can't. Everyone keeps stopping me, asking questions, taking photos. I don't know what to do. Stay calm, Vin said. I'm coming there. Don't talk to anyone until I get there. Okay, Ji-won said. Her voice was small and scared. Vin drove to the hotel. He pushed through the reporters. No comment right now, he said firmly. Give us some space, please. He found Ji-won in the employee break room. She sat at a table with her head in her hands. Her co-workers surrounded her. Some looked excited. Others looked confused. A few looked jealous. Ji-won, Vin said gently. She looked up. Relief washed over her face when she saw him. You came. Of course I came, come on. Let's get you somewhere quiet. They went to the same conference room where they recorded the video. Vin closed the door. The noise from outside faded. Ji-won collapsed into a chair. This is crazy, she said. Is it always like this? Being famous? Sometimes, Vin said. But this is different. This is new attention. It will calm down. But right now, we need to make some decisions. What kind of decisions? People want to talk to you. News shows, radio stations, podcasts. We need to decide if you want to do interviews. And if so, which ones? We also need to think about your job. The hotel might not like all this attention. As if on cue, there was a knock on the door. The hotel manager poked his head in. He was a middle-aged man with thin hair and a nervous expression. Mr. Diesel, Ms. Park. Can I speak with you both? Come in, Vin said. The manager stepped inside and closed the door. He looked uncomfortable. Ms. Park, I need to talk to you about your employment. Ji-won's face fell. Are you firing me? No, the manager said quickly. Nothing like that. But we need to discuss the situation. The reporters outside are disrupting our guests. We can't have news vans blocking the entrance. It's not good for business. I understand, Ji-won said quietly. I'll resign. I don't want to cause problems. Wait, Vin said. He looked at the manager. What if she took a leave of absence? Paid leave? For 2 weeks. That gives the media attention time to die down. Then she can come back to work if she wants to. Or she can pursue other opportunities if they come up. The manager thought about it. That could work. Would that be acceptable to you, Ms. Park? Ji-won looked at Vin, then at the manager. Yes, thank you. That's very generous. It's settled then, the manager said. He looked relieved. Take 2 weeks off paid. We'll see where things stand after that. After the manager left, Ji-won turned to Vin. What am I supposed to do for 2 weeks? You're supposed to see what opportunities come from this, and spend time with your kids. They must be excited. Ji-won smiled for the first time that day. They are. Minji made me read every comment last night. Jae-sun is telling everyone at school that his mom is famous. Daewon asked if we can get a dog now. Vin laughed. Maybe not a dog yet, but maybe other things. Let's see what happens over the next few days. What happened over the next few days was overwhelming. The video reached 30 million views, then 50 million. News outlets around the world picked up the story. Hotel Maid goes viral. Vin Diesel discovers hidden talent. The voice that stopped the internet. Interview requests poured in. Good Morning America. The Today Show. Ellen. Everyone wanted Ji-won. Record labels started calling. Producers wanted to work with her. People offered to manage her career. Ji-won met with Vin every day. They sat together and went through the offers. It was too much for her to handle alone. She needed someone she trusted, and she trusted Vin. I don't understand any of this, she said, looking at a contract from a small record label. What does perpetuity mean? What's a mechanical license? I feel stupid. You're not stupid, Vin said firmly. This is complicated on purpose. That's why we're getting you a lawyer. A good entertainment lawyer who will explain everything and make sure you don't get taken advantage of. I can't afford a lawyer. I already hired one. Don't worry about the cost. Consider it my investment in you. Ji-won looked at him with tears in her eyes. Why are you doing all this, really? I still don't understand, Vin thought about it. He wanted to be honest. Completely honest. Because life gave me opportunities that other people don't get. Because I was lucky, and because I believe that when you have the power to help someone, you should. Your voice deserves to be heard. Your story deserves to be told. And I have the platform to make that happen. It's not charity. It's just what's right. 3 days after the video posted, G1 was invited to appear on Good Morning America. She was terrified. She had never been on television before. She did not know what to wear, what to say, how to act. Vin helped her prepare. He brought a stylist to help her pick an outfit. Something that felt like her but looked good on camera. They settled on a simple blue dress. Nothing too fancy, just elegant and real. They practiced interview questions. Vin played the interviewer. Tell us about your life. When did you know you could sing? What does this attention mean to you? G1 stumbled at first. She was nervous. She over-explained things. But slowly she found her voice. Not her singing voice. Her speaking voice. The one that told her story with honesty and grace. The morning of the interview, Vin went with her to the studio. He stayed backstage while she went on camera. After the Good Morning America appearance, everything changed even more. The video now had over 80 million views. G1's story spread across continents. People in Korea wanted to interview her because of her name. Gospel music stations played her recording on repeat. Churches invited her to sing. But with the attention came complications. G1's phone never stopped ringing. Strangers showed up at her apartment. Some wanted autographs. Some wanted money. Some had business ideas. A few were just curious. It was invasive and scary. I can't live like this, G1 told Vin one evening. They sat in his living room, away from cameras and crowds. Yesterday, someone knocked on my door at 10 p.m. They wanted me to sing at their wedding. A complete stranger. How did they even find my address? We need to get you help, Vin said. Security, a proper team. This is bigger than either of us expected. I'm just a hotel maid, G1 said. She said it a lot these days, like she was trying to remember who she really was. No, Vin said firmly. You're not. Not anymore. You're an artist. A voice that millions of people love. You need to accept that, not in an arrogant way, but in a way that lets you protect yourself and your family. G1 was quiet. She looked out the window at the city below. My kids are struggling too. Minji loves the attention, but Jaesun got in a fight at school. Some kid said I was only famous because I was poor and sad. Daewon is scared. He thinks we're going to have to move. Leave our home. He doesn't understand what's happening. Vin's heart ached for her. Fame was hard. Sudden fame was harder. What do you want, G1? Really? If you could choose anything, what would make you happy? G1 thought about it for a long time. I want to sing, I want to share my music. But I want to do it my way. I don't want to be a pop star. I don't want to wear crazy outfits or dance on stage. I just want to sing songs that mean something. Songs that help people. Songs that honor my grandmother and David and my parents. Then that's what we'll do, Vin said. Over the next week, they worked with the entertainment lawyer. They reviewed all the offers. Most wanted to change G1, make her younger, sexier, more commercial. They wanted her to sing pop songs, to lose weight, to dress differently. No, G1 said to each one. That's not who I am. Then a smaller label reached out. Faithful Heart Records. They specialized in gospel and inspirational music. They worked with older artists. Real artists. They liked G1 exactly as she was. The label offered a modest deal. One album. Creative control for G1. Fair split of profits. The lawyer reviewed it carefully. It was good. Honest. Real. I think you should take this, Vin advised. They respect you. They understand your vision. This feels right. G1 signed the contract. Her hand shook as she wrote her name. She was now officially a recording artist. The label wanted to start recording immediately. They found a studio in Los Angeles, a beautiful place with warm wood walls and vintage equipment, nothing too modern or cold. It felt like home, but G1 was terrified of the actual recording process. What if I can't do it? She asked Vin the night before her first session. What if my voice doesn't work in a real studio? What if everyone realizes I'm not that good? G1, Vin said. You stopped me in a hallway with your voice. You made millions of people cry. You sang on national television and got a standing ovation. You are that good. You just need to believe it. The first recording session was difficult. Ji-won was too nervous, too aware of the microphone, the sound engineers, the producers watching through the glass. Her voice came out tight and scared. After 2 hours, they took a break. Ji-won sat in the recording booth with her head in her hands. I can't do this. I'm wasting everyone's time. Vin asked if he could go into the booth with her. The producer agreed. Vin sat down next to Ji-won. What are you thinking about when you sing? He asked the microphone. The people watching. Messing up everything. That's the problem, Vin said. You're in your head. Remember the night I found you? You weren't thinking about any of that. You were just singing to comfort a baby. You were thinking about love, about peace. About that moment, Ji-won nodded slowly. Close your eyes, Vin said. Think about your kids. Think about David. Think about your grandmother teaching you to sing. Think about why this song matters. Don't think about the recording. Don't think about the people listening. Just sing like you did that night. Ji-won closed her eyes. She took a deep breath. And she started to sing. This time her voice was free, open, real. The magic came back. Everyone in the studio stopped what they were doing. They just listened. Some cried. When she finished, there was silence. Then applause. That's it, the producer said through the intercom. That's the one. That's what we needed. After that first breakthrough, the recording got easier. Ji-won learned to get out of her own way, to trust her gift, to remember why she sang in the first place. They recorded 12 songs over 3 weeks, old gospel hymns, a few original songs that Ji-won wrote about her life, spiritual songs, songs about grief and hope and faith and love. During one of the recording sessions, Vin had a surprise for Ji-won. He asked her to take a break. Come outside for a moment. She was confused but followed him. Outside the studio, a car was waiting. Not a limo, just a nice normal car. In the back seat were 3 children, Minji, Jae-sun, and Daewon. They all jumped out when they saw their mother. Mom! They yelled together. Ji-won started crying. Happy tears. She hugged all 3 of them at once. What are you doing here? You have school. Mr. Diesel said we could skip one day, Minji explained. He wanted us to see you record, Vin smiled. I thought you could use some moral support, and they should see what their mom is doing. This is their story too. The kids came into the studio. They sat quietly in the control room. They watched their mother sing through the glass window. Minji recorded it on her phone. Jae-sun bounced excitedly in his chair. Daewon fell asleep after an hour, but with a smile on his face. When Ji-won recorded a song she wrote called 3 Reasons, everyone in the studio was given the lyrics. It was about her children, her 3 reasons for everything, for working hard, for staying strong, for never giving up. Her voice broke with emotion several times, but she pushed through. And when she finished, her kids rushed into the recording booth. They all hugged and cried together. The producer wiped his eyes. That's going on the album, he said. That's definitely going on the album. 3 weeks later, the album was finished. Ji-won held the final CD in her hands. The cover photo was simple. Just her face, smiling, real. The title was Songs from the Heart, under her name. It said, featuring his eyes on the sparrow. This is really happening, Ji-won whispered. This is really happening, Vin confirmed. The album was released on a Tuesday morning. By Tuesday afternoon, it was #1 on the gospel music charts. By Wednesday, it cracked the top 20 on the overall music charts. People were buying it, streaming it, sharing it. The reviews were beautiful. Critics praised Ji-won's authenticity, her emotional depth, her technical skill. But more importantly, regular people loved it. People wrote about how her songs helped them through hard times, how her voice brought them peace, how her story inspired them to chase their own dreams. A church in Texas invited Ji-won to perform. It was her first live concert. She was terrified, but Vin went with her. Her kids went with her. They all stood in the wings while she walked onto the small stage. The church was packed. 500 people. They gave her a standing ovation before she even sang a note. Ji-won stood at the microphone, looked at all those faces, and she felt something shift inside her. This was where she belonged, sharing her gift, touching hearts. She sang for an hour. Gospel songs, hymns, her original songs. The crowd sang along, swayed, cried, praised. At the end, Ji-won felt more alive than she had in years. This was her purpose. This was why God gave her this voice. More invitations came. Churches around the country wanted her. Community centers. Small theaters. Jiwon was careful about which ones she accepted. She did not want to be away from her kids too much, and she did not want to lose herself in fame, but she did accept a few. She performed in Chicago, Atlanta, New York. Each time, the response was the same. Love, appreciation, tears. People came up to her after shows. They shared their stories, their struggles. They thanked her for her honesty, her courage. Her voice money started coming in. Not millions, but enough. More than enough. Jiwon paid off David's medical debt. All of it. She cried when she made the final payment. That debt had hung over her for 4 years. Now it was gone. She moved her family to a bigger apartment. Nothing fancy. Just a 3-bedroom place in a safe neighborhood. The kids each got their own room. Daewon got his dog. A small terrier mix from the shelter. They named him Sparrow. Jiwon bought herself new shoes. Good shoes. Not because the old ones were worn out, but because she could. Because she deserved nice things. She sent money to her church. To charities that helped widows and single mothers. She wanted to give back, but she did not quit the hotel. Not completely. She went back after her leave of absence. Not to clean rooms, but to visit. To thank her coworkers. To remind herself where she came from. The hotel manager offered her a job in public relations. She could be the face of the hotel. Do promotional events. 3 months later, Jiwon stood in front of an old community center in South Los Angeles. The building needed paint. The windows needed cleaning, but it had good bones. Strong walls. A big room inside that used to be a dance studio. It was perfect. Vin stood next to her. He had helped her find this place. Helped her negotiate the lease. He believed in her vision as much as she did. This is it, Jiwon said. This is where we change lives. They named it the Sparrow Music Academy. Free music lessons for children from low-income families. Voice lessons, piano, guitar. Any instrument the kids wanted to learn. No experience necessary, no auditions. Just a desire to learn and a commitment to show up. Jiwon used money from her album sales to fund it. Vin made a generous donation. Other people heard about the project and donated too. Small amounts mostly. $20 here, $50 there. But it added up. Regular people supporting a dream. They hired 3 music teachers. All of them were people like Jiwon. Talented musicians who never got their big break. Who worked regular jobs but never stopped loving music. Now they could teach, share their gifts, make a living doing what they loved. The academy opened on a Saturday morning in March. Jiwon was nervous. What if no one came? What if parents did not trust her? What if this whole idea was foolish? But at 9 a.m. families started arriving. Parents with their children. Some kids were shy. Others were excited. Some had never held an instrument before. Others had been singing in church choirs for years. All of them came with hope. By noon, 60 children had registered. 60 kids who would get free music lessons. 60 chances to discover a gift. 60 possible futures changed. Minji volunteered to help with registration. At 15, she was mature and organized. She loved seeing the younger kids' faces light up when they touched a piano for the first time. "This is so cool, Mom," she said. "You're giving them what you got. A chance." Jason, now 12, helped set up the instrument room. He organized the guitars and microphones. He was still the worrier of the family. "What if we run out of money?" he asked his mom. "What if we can't keep this place open?" "Then we tried," Jiwon told him. "But I believe we'll be okay. People are good. When you do something good, others want to help." Daewon, 9 years old now, played with Sparrow the dog in the corner. He was just happy to be there. Happy to see his mom smile so much. Happy that life felt safe and stable again. The first day of classes was chaos. Good chaos. Children filled the center with sound. Scales on pianos. Strumming guitars. Voices singing together. It was not always pretty, but it was beautiful. The Sound of Dreams beginning. Jiwon taught a voice class for 10 students. Ages 8 to 14. She stood in front of them and felt complete. This was what she was meant to do all along. Not just sing, but teach, share, inspire. Music is not just about having a good voice, she told her students. It's about having something to say. It's about feeling and sharing those feelings. Some of you will become professional singers. Most of you won't. But all of you will learn something important. You'll learn that you have a voice, and that voice matters. The kids listened with wide eyes. They did not fully understand yet, but they would. Over time, with practice, with love. During the first week, the local news came to film a story. They interviewed G1, asked about her journey, from hotel maid to recording artist to music teacher. This feels like home, G1 told the reporter. More than performing. More than recording. This is what I was supposed to do, give back. Help kids who remind me of myself. Kids who have talent but no resources. Kids who just need someone to believe in them. The reporter asked if she was still singing professionally. Yes, G1 said. I perform once or twice a month, mostly at churches and small venues. I'm working on a second album, but this academy is my main focus now. This is my legacy. The story aired that evening. More donations came in. More families registered their children. The academy had to open a waiting list. Vin came to visit often. Sometimes he taught guest lessons. He talked to the kids about following dreams, about working hard, about being kind. The children loved him, not because he was famous, but because he treated them like they mattered. One afternoon, Vin and G1 sat on the steps outside the center. Kids played in the small yard behind them. Music drifted through the open windows. Do you remember that night? Vin asked. In the hotel hallway? Every day, G1 said. It feels like a lifetime ago, but also like yesterday. I think about it too, Vin said. How different things would be if I had just walked to my room. If I had ignored the singing. If I had minded my own business. But you didn't, G1 said. You listened. You cared. You helped. And look what happened. They watched the children play. A little girl sang on the swing set. Off-key but confident. A boy played air guitar while his friends laughed. These kids had no idea how much their lives might change, how much possibility existed in this small building. I got an email yesterday, G1 said, from a woman in Ohio. She saw my story. She's a hairdresser. Always wanted to paint, but life got in the way. Kids, bills, you know the story. But she said watching my journey inspired her. She started painting again. She's having her first art show next month at a local coffee shop. Finn smiled. That's beautiful. It keeps happening, G1 continued. People write to me all the time, saying they're going back to school. Starting businesses, picking up old dreams. They say if I could do it, they can too. That's the part that makes me cry. Not the album sales or the news stories, but knowing that my story helps other people find courage. That's the real gift, Vin said. You're not just a singer. You're a spark. You light fires in other people. 6 months after the academy opened, they held a recital. All the students would perform for their families. The community center was packed. Standing room only. Parents held up phones to record. Grandparents wiped away tears before the show even started. The students performed one by one. Some were nervous. Some forgot lyrics. Some played wrong notes. But every single one of them was brave. Every single one of them stood on that small stage and shared their gift. At the end, G1 performed. She sang, His Eye is on the Sparrow, the song that started everything, the song that changed her life. But this time she invited all her students on stage. They sang the chorus with her. 60 children's voices joined with hers. It was messy and imperfect and absolutely perfect. The audience erupted. Standing ovation. Cheers, tears. G1 looked out at all those faces. She saw her 3 children in the front row. She saw Vin standing in the back clapping and smiling. She saw parents hugging their kids. She saw hope. After the recital, a mother approached G1. The woman was young, maybe 30. She wore a fast food uniform. She looked tired but happy. Miss Park, the woman said, my daughter sang tonight. The little girl in the yellow dress. Did you see her? I saw her, G1 said. She was wonderful. She never smiled like that before, the mother said. Tears filled her eyes. We're going through a hard time. Her father left us. Money is tight. I work 2 jobs. I feel like I'm failing her every day. But she comes here twice a week. And she's happy. She has something that's just hers. Something good. You gave that to her. You gave that to me. The woman hugged G1. They cried together. 2 mothers. 2 fighters. 2 women who refused to let hard times steal joy from their children. This was why G1 did it. Not for fame, not for recognition, but for moments like this, for the chance to be for someone else what others had been for her. A believer, a supporter, a friend. That night after everyone left, Jiwon sat alone in the empty center. She walked through the rooms, touched the pianos, straightened the chairs. She thought about her journey, about how one moment changed everything. She thought about David, about how he would love seeing this, how proud he would be. She whispered to him in the empty room, "I did it. I finally did it. I'm teaching music. I'm helping people. It just took a different path than we planned." She thought about her grandmother, the woman who taught her to sing, who told her that music heals, that it connects, that it matters. "You were right, Grandma," she whispered. About everything. She thought about her parents. The Korean couple who adopted a black baby girl and gave her a name that meant wisdom and truth. They taught her that family is not about blood. It's about love, about choosing each other every day. And she thought about Vin, the movie star who heard a hotel maid singing and decided to stop, to listen, to care, who used his platform not for himself but for others, who became not just a helper but a true friend. Jiwon's phone buzzed. A text message from Vin. "Proud of you. Today was beautiful. The kids were amazing. You're changing the world one voice at a time," she texted back. "Thank you for everything. For believing in me. For being my friend. For showing me that dreams can come true even when you think they're dead. They're never dead, just sleeping. Sometimes they need someone to wake them up." Jiwon smiled. She turned off the lights in the center, locked the door, walked to her car under the streetlights. Tomorrow she would come back. More kids to teach, more lives to touch, more dreams to nurture. As she drove home through the city, she sang softly. A new song she was writing, about second chances, about unexpected blessings, about strangers who become family, about voices that refuse to stay silent. Her voice filled the car, strong and clear and free, the voice that almost went unheard, the voice that changed everything. She thought about all the hotel maids out there, the single mothers, the widows, the dreamers who stopped dreaming, the talented people working invisible jobs, and she hoped her story reached them, hoped they knew it was not too late, that they still mattered, that their voices deserved to be heard, because sometimes all it takes is one person to listen, one person to believe, one person to say you matter and mean it. For Jiwon, that person was Vin Diesel, a movie star who followed a song in the night and found something real. For 60 children at the Sparrow Music Academy, that person was Jiwon Park, a hotel maid who became a singer, who became a teacher, who became a light. And for millions of people who heard her story, she was proof that it's never too late, proof that dreams can wake up, proof that one moment of kindness can change everything. The story that started with a baby's cry and a stranger's song ended with a chorus. 60 young voices learning to sing, learning that they matter, learning that their dreams are worth fighting for. And it all began because one man stopped walking to his hotel room, because he followed a sound, because he chose to see the invisible woman with the extraordinary voice. That's how lives change, not with grand gestures always, but with small moments, with listening, with caring, with believing in people who stopped believing in themselves. Jiwon Park taught the world many things. But the most important lesson was this: everyone has a gift. Everyone has a song. Sometimes you just need someone to hear it. And sometimes, if you're very lucky, that someone has a microphone loud enough to let the whole world listen. The night was quiet as Jiwon pulled into her apartment parking lot. Inside, her 3 children waited. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new songs to teach, new dreams to nurture. But tonight she was just a mother coming home, a woman who had been lost and was found, a voice that refused to stay silent. And somewhere in Los Angeles, in a hotel room, maybe another person was singing. Another hidden talent waiting to be discovered. Another life waiting to change. Because that's how the world works when people choose kindness. When they choose to listen. When they choose to believe one song at a time, one voice at a time, one dream at a time. And it all started with a chance encounter in a hotel hallway. With a movie star and a maid. With the simple act of stopping to listen. That's the power of a voice. That's the power of a moment. That's the power of believing someone matters. And Jiwon Park mattered. Her voice mattered. Her story mattered, and now, because of her, 60 children knew that they mattered too. That was the real miracle. Not the fame, not the album, not the viral video. The real miracle was what happened after. The lives touched, the dreams awakened, the voices found. That was the true story of the hotel maid and the movie star. Not a fairy tale, but something better, something real, something that proved that magic exists. Not in fantasy, but in human kindness, in second chances, in the simple act of listening to someone sing the end and the beginning.